Great. So I was just saying that usually when I teach Zentangle, and I've taught for over 10 years, over 500 classes, I never usually show ahead of time what I'm going to be teaching. But I sometimes I'll do a quick glance and a quick peek. So this is what we're going to be doing today, kind of this pattern. And this pattern is called uh, uh, Diamond Heart. Oh, that's my scribble. Diamond Heart by BB's Tangle Dream. And so I'm just going to take that away because in Zentangle, the way I was taught Zentangle in 2014 is that it's meant to be a meditation, a meditative art method. And so today we're going to be tangling in a meditative state where we're going to go very slow. Some of you are not used to going slow, and I'm going to ask you to just go slower than you usually do. Go draw, that's all. And we're going to go one step at a time, and Zentangle is all about relaxing, letting go, draw slow. We stay in the present moment. We release all expectations. We appreciate what we create and we have fun, of course, but we let go of the outcome. That is what Zentangle was designed to do, letting go of the outcome. This is not a ZIA class, Zentangle inspired class. This is a Zentangle meditation class. So, with that, I'm going to ask you to take a nice deep breath. Sit quietly. I invite you to close your eyes if you'd like. And we're just going to take a moment to kind of empty out our minds and get in the present moment. Make sure you're comfortable in your seat or bed, whatever you're in today, or car. Breathing in and out. And sit quietly for a moment. Imagine everything leaving your mind and focus on a word that relaxes you, like peace, serenity. We could focus on an image or look out into your backyard and look at a tree. Just going to sit quietly for a moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And today I am using the 01 micron, 05, and a pencil tortillon in a square standard 3.5-inch square Zentangle tile. So I'm going to invite you for a moment, whatever paper you're using, doesn't matter what size or shape, this pattern will work on everything. Maybe you're in a sketchbook. And just take a moment and feel the paper. Look at the paper. Does it have die cut edges? Is it smooth or rough? When you're ready, let's write our name on the back of our tile or next to our sketchbook or whatever you're using, your name and today's date. We all know what that is, Valentine's Day. And where you are. We're on Zoom, and you might want to put my name so you remember who taught the class. Okay, pop-up class. And the pattern we are using is Diamond Heart by BB's Tangle Dream. For those of you who don't know, she's got a YouTube channel and it's fabulous. Yeah. If this is your first day doing Zentangle, write first time ever, because we always want to know what the first tile we ever did in Zentangle. And when you're ready, you can put down your pen or pencil, whatever you're using. Well, if you're using your pencil, keep your pencil. So we're going to start off the standard basic Zentangle where we're going to draw a dot in each corner. And I like to use the side of my pencil. Now we're going to go nice and slow. This is a meditation. Let's breathe into each dot, relaxing, noticing how the pencil feels in our hand, turning your tile whenever you feel like it. Just be comfortable. And after you draw your four dots, doesn't matter where they are, we have no perfection, nothing has to line up, nothing has to be even, nothing, nothing like that. No expectations in Zentangle. And then you might want to draw those lines, a line from dot to dot, straight, curved, doesn't matter. Just relax. Let the pencil do what it wants to do. We let go of the outcome and we focus on being in the present moment, breathing, relaxing. Make sure those shoulders are relaxed, the jaw is relaxed, things that I tend to tense up a lot. So now we've got our border. And I'm actually going to switch to my pen. Now, some of you may want to stick to your pencil. I like to go to the pen because Zentangle is all about not using an eraser because it's a metaphor for life and we can't erase things in our life. So I'm going to switch to although the pencil we do use as a string, but we're not doing a string, we're going right to the grid. So I'm going to go to my pen. You are welcome to use your pencil if you feel more comfortable. And I'm going to put a tick mark right in the middle, ballparking the middle of that border on both sides. And then I'll do a tick mark halfway between the middle and the end of that border. So we're just drawing a grid, and a lot of you have done this before. It's just a way to kind of draw an even grid without using rulers or measuring tools. And then we'll turn that and do the same thing. Just find the middle of that border, put a little tick mark, and then find the middle of each side. And then I'm just going to draw a line straight down, nice and slow and relaxed, taking our time, breathing. And this is how I'm going to draw my grid, just drawing these lines from those tick marks all the way across the border to the border. Taking our time, turning our tile, relaxing. There's no perfection in Zentangle. As you can see, none of my boxes are the same size. Yours might be, that's okay. They can be exact or they don't have to be. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. And if you want, I'm going to actually go ahead and trace my border as well. Only because my inner artist is telling me to do that. Zentangle is an intuitive art. Always listen to your inner artist, your intuition, your desires. Whatever I say is just a suggestion. If you decide you want to do something else, follow that desire. That's your inner artist coming through. Never shut your inner artist out. So we're going to start now by drawing a box in every other section. So just watch me for a second now. I'm just going to draw a box just in an intersection. And we're going to do that in every other one. So here's an intersection. So we're going to leave that blank. And we're going to draw it another box here. And this is a small box, nothing big. It's just covering the 4 points or four the points, whatever, in the, I don't know how to explain that, but just a little box, every other little intersection. So really, before you draw your box, make sure you have skipped one, taking your time, drawing each line on purpose, giving it your undivided attention. Now notice how much slower I went with this box and how much more, to me, it looks a lot more like a box. And I'm going to do a half a box on the edges. Making sure you're still on every other one. So I always like to recommend to have some soft music if that always helps me to relax, some meditation music in the background. You're something you might like to do. And when you're ready, I'm going to switch to my '05, any thicker pen, and we're going to color in all of these boxes. Taking your time, being in the present moment, enjoying each box. And I like to go in little circular motions. Maria from Zentangle headquarters, co-founder with Rick Roberts, I've got that tip from her to kind of avoid those white specks. She says to go in little circular motions. Taking our time. The goal is never to finish your tile. The goal is to slow down, relax, and be in the present moment, giving each stroke your undivided attention, breathing, relaxing. And at any time, if you finish before we move on to the next step, I invite you to just relax, close your eyes, look out the window with your eyes open, just sit quietly, or you can tangle something else until we move on to the next one. And at any time, if you're not ready to move on when we do, that's okay. Just go back to it whenever you want. Move on with us and then go back. Okay. All right. So when you're done with that, I'm going to now switch to back to my '01. And again, you could be using any pens you want. If you want to use color, go for it. I think you all know that. I'm using black and white. Now we're going to give an aura to each side of these blocks, but they're not going to touch. So we're going right over that line, and we are auraing each side, leaving a space. So I got to focus a little bit better there. Leaving a space in between each aura. like that. And we're going to do that on every box. Nice and slow, breathing into each line. Leaving a space. And since this is Valentine's Day, the day of love, I invite you to, with each stroke, send love to yourself. Focus on your heart and just allow love to come through for yourself. Because when we feel it, we can give it away. Not that I'm a love expert. Now, the next step, and it's okay if you're not done, just start with me and then you can go back. We're going to connect these lines diagonally. So let's look at this box here, and we're going to take this line and just connect it to that one and that one. It can be curved or not. I just happened to curve it just because the angle I was in. But we'll do another one. I could go straight. We're just connecting these lines, lining them up. Now, if I want, I can go in a little bit like that. I could curve it in. Or I can just keep it straight. And I noticed I forgot to put my boxes in the corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my box here. I'll color that in a minute, but I can line up those things. So it's always on the diagonal. Find a square, look at the two boxes on either diagonals, and then just connect those corresponding lines. Nice and slow. So if you were going slow already, or it doesn't matter what pace you're going, I'm going to invite you to, or challenge you to go just a little bit slower than you were going a few minutes ago. Just slow it down, just a little. Breathing in and out. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next part now. I'm going to put down my, well, I had picked up my O5 to color in those, but I still got my O1 um, going. So I'm going to use my O1 for the next step. And now, remember we had skipped every other one? Well, we're going to go back to the ones we skipped, and we're going to draw in a little petal in each little corner. You just watch me for a second. Little rice shapes, petals, ovals, whatever you want to call them. That's the first step. So then the heart comes in later, but let's just do that for, no, I'll show you the whole thing. So what I like to do is I like to kind of find those intersections that don't have the box on them and put these in. But what's going to happen after that? So you can decide to keep doing that or do the whole thing at once, where we then color in and these petals, although you know what? I'm going to color these in because this is how BB's Tangle Dream does it, but I'm going to show you something a little, you can leave those blank for now, but this is what you could do. And then once you color those in, you come up and you draw a heart around each one. Here's where the heart comes in, around each one. So what I like to do is I kind of like to come from that corner right here, this little intersection, and just come up and draw this heart right around that petal. Turning my tile each time, so because Zentangle is all about doing the same stroke over and over. And when you turn your tile, you're in that same spot. Now, there's lots we can do with that. So I'm just going to show you what I did last night. So if you kept those petals, and this is, I made the petals kind of bigger too. So if you kept the petals, this one's colored in, and then I did something a little bit different with the others. So you might want to leave them open for now in case you want to put something else in there later. And then I did the half ones all colored in around the edges. So I'll show you what I mean here. So when I did the petals on the half, those I did color in. And then drew my hearts like that. So my suggestion is just find those intersections, draw the petals, and then draw the hearts. And then we can go back afterwards and I will show you some ideas of what we can do with the backgrounds. Because one of the things I do like to do is I like to give a little weight, which I will go over that later on these little hearts. So sometimes if I have trouble slowing down, I say to myself as I draw, Slow motion. And one of the reasons that we let go of the outcome in Zentangle is because it's going to look very different by the time we're finished. So you're just wasting your time if you don't like what you're drawing at the moment, or you're focusing too much on what it should look like. Just feel the pen, let the pen be zen. Breathe, relax. This way we get the same benefits of meditation without actually meditating in the traditional sense. So now getting to the petals. So again, I'm going to color in the ones on the edges, but I'm going to show you this again to see if it gives you any ideas what you might want to do. So again, I'm going to continue on the edges, coloring my little petals in, but in the ones in the middle, I wonder if they're the same? No, let's see if I did this the same. Yeah, it is. Um, there's different things you could do. Now we'll be doing shading afterwards, and I'll show you how BB Tangle's Dream does it. I'm sure she has another name, but that's how I call her. So here's one way. Now, first of all, I do like to wait, put weighting on, draw 'em on the hearts, which I did here. So in the middle, you can decide we've got some stripes, we've got some highlights, we've got some orbs, so you can have some fun with that. Put whatever you'd like in there, or you can watch what I do. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And then on the background, fooled around with some different backgrounds. Like here, I put little tiny orbs diagonally across, and I left that for shading. here, what I did here is I'll show you on this one. I created this kind of a diamond shape. So I kind of just, it was just calling to me to kind of just bring this up here and like make this kind of V shape, half diamond. And at one point I colored those in. So I'll show you on this one. This is a nice heart card that I got. And then, so I colored those in, just kind of fooling around with experimenting with what you could do. Oh, I made a little heart there. Oh, what did I do inside? And then inside, I colored them all in, because that's the way the pattern is originally done. So, and then I put in some stripes going one way, then the other way. So you guys pretty much know what you want to know, have lots of ideas, I'm sure. And so, okay, so I'm going to put that away. So have fun with it. We have lots of time. So go nice, slow, nice and slow. I'm actually going to switch to my O5.
Sorry, can
Yeah,
you show the other tile, please?
this one,
Yes. No, the other.
this one.
Yes, yes, yes. So nice.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you. Yeah, thank you.
That's so funny. Sometimes the things you
Yes.
think you you don't do well. Okay. And just remember, and I said it before, just because I'm not using color doesn't mean you don't have to. If you want to use color, that's your inner artist saying you need to use color. Some of you might be bringing in some red or pinks. Something I like to do too, if like let's say you're all done or you have some, you're just sitting there, you might want to take your thicker pen and go over some of your boxes to make sure they are nice and solid without any white specks. I always find white specks no matter what I do. So I am going over I'm still using my O5, giving some weight. You don't need the O5 to do this because when I did it yesterday, I used my O1 to give weight to the hearts, but I'm going to use my O5 today, a little bit thicker, just to give a little weight on these hearts. Nice and slow. I'd be anxious to know, and you could just put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourselves. Has anyone ever done this pattern before? Be interested to know how many have. No.
Hi, Jackie. It's
Hi.
Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hello. I have not done this pattern. I like it.
Oh, good.
Possibilities with it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's very nice. Thank you. And
You're
thanks for
welcome.
the class.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. I was scrolling and came across it on Facebook. Thanks.
Oh, good.
I've never done this one either, but I love it.
Awesome. Now, an email did go out yesterday, late yesterday, announcing this. So if you guys didn't get the email, it's through the Rejuventangle newsletter. So you can always subscribe to that on the Rejuventangle calendar. That's awesome. I always turn my tile because I have this OCD thing where like I have to always be like, there's no right side up in Zentangle, but for Jackie Rose there is. So I always have to be the right side up where I go by where I wrote my name. I don't know, it's just a weird thing. But that's why I keep flipping my tile in case anybody's wondering. Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay, so so Debbie Bow at her birthday class did this pattern. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Great minds think alike, right? Okay, so and actually, this pattern is what got me to want to teach the class. It was just I was just doing my own tangling yesterday, trying to catch up on some patterns, and this was on one of my to-do lists to look up, I guess. I've done it before and I've taught it before, but it's been a while. Anyways, I got to it and said, "Oh, I love this. I feel like teaching it." And I don't teach anymore, as most of you know, at least not that much. And just this pattern is what got me to want to teach today. And I thought, what great, and Valentine's Day and all that. All right, so what am I going to do in my little things? You know what? This is what's calling to me. I'm just going to draw a stem with a dot because mine were so small. But as Elizabeth said, there's so much potential. Like I could have made these so much bigger, like I did here, and I could even make them even bigger to put more, more tangles inside those petals. There really is so much opportunity. And I might even give these petals a little bit of a beanie, just a little weight. I call them beanies, but just a little drama. Maybe just to make these even though it doesn't really, well, I might just color these in too. Just to match that one. And I'm using my O1 for this, so I should have said earlier, if you only have an O1, it's fine. You can still use that for coloring in, no big deal. And I think I'm going to give a little bit of a weight to all of the hearts. And I'm just using my O1 now. Doesn't really matter what pen you use. Just to give it a little bit of drama. And I just know some of you are really going to town on this. I can't wait till we do our mosaic. I just can imagine what you guys are doing with this. Because I know many of you. I know what you're doing. I know. I'm seeing different tangles. I'm seeing different colors. We'll see if I'm right. So another thing I did, it looks like, I gave these hearts an aura and gave a little bit of a pattern. I had one's orbs, one's stripes. So maybe I'll do that on one of them to show you as a option. I'm just gonna aura the hearts on this particular petal. Because I might want each one of my, there's like one, two, four things we can do here, at least on my tile. And I might do something different on each one. So on this one, maybe we'll aura it. And maybe I'll just do some lines in that aura. And maybe I'll color in every other. You know what? I don't always do every other one. I like to color just a few in randomly. You don't have to do every other one to give it that drama effect. Just color a few of these sections in randomly. Just get a few in there. Maybe on this one, I'm going to aura the short petals. And I am only saying what I'm doing because I'm teaching and some of you are following along with me. Many of you are just doing your own thing, so you don't have to pay attention to me at all. And I think I'm going to continue with this aura. Just giving some weight on this petal here. Maybe on this one, I'm just going to kind of come out with this little S shape, kind of S shape line, and then giving it some drama. So it kind of come out with this little hump. Closer with that. Color that in. Turning my tile, coming out with this little curvy line, making this hump shape, coloring it in. I think I might make these little dots a little bit more noticeable. And I think I'm going to add some little flicks, little tick marks, flicks on the other side of that heart. All I'm doing is doing just little tiny lines. What call them? Hashtags, hash marks? Not hashtags. Hashtags is for Facebook and stuff. Okay. A little bit of a sketching, whatever they call it. Maybe it's called tippling. I don't know. What is this called? Anybody can unmute and tell me. Is this called hatching? Maybe it's
Hatching.
hatching. Was it?
Hatching.
Hatching. Thank you. And I think for my final one, I'm going to give it a very, I'm going to give it a very thin aura on the inside of either one. Actually, then I was thinking of putting some orbs in there, right on the inside of that. Try that again. So I'm doing this inside aura. And then filling the rest in with orbs. Again, just a thought I had. You can do whatever you want. Pat, thanks for. I'm looking at everyone's profile, see where people are from, and I love what Pat wrote, 29 degrees. Because I did say earlier on, beginning, we were talking about temperature, and I said, well, maybe we should put what degrees it is where
Oh,
everybody is, the
I
temperature.
that's funny. I didn't hear that.
And you
Yeah,
put it anyways.
yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah.
I love it.
Hmm.
And you look like it's 29 degrees.
Yes, I like to bundle up in the house. We like to keep the heat at 61, 62. It's very comfortable as long as
Yeah.
you have a hat on.
Well, look at that. We got South Africa, Pennsylvania. I mean, it's amazing. I love how
Yeah.
we can all come together from all over the world. Italy, Florida, Boston. Amazing. New York, Canada. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to start to do some shading now. And again, you can join me if you like, or you can continue doing what you're doing. And so I'm going to shade the way BB's Tangle Dream shaded hers on her video. And then I might add some other things. But what she did is she took the sides and always use the side of the tip of your pencil. It will blend better. So I always try to get the side rather than the actual tip. But pointing that to the line, through the edge. So I'm just putting some graphite down along the left side of that edge. And also a little graphite on the right side of the hearts. That's how she does it. And then we blend that in. Now, that's not the only way, because I did see one of her other ones. Her completed tile in the video shows a little bit more. So I like to stretch it out a little bit more along the whole side. I put a lot of graphite down, so I have a lot to move around and spread. And then on this side, just kind of do that. So that's how she did it. Now, when I did it here, I did do on both sides here. And and then, well, this one I had upside down. So I did do it like that. And some of them I kind of, and then I used it as coloring. So this one I used like put more as a background, put some in here and here diagonally across and have that white. I just used it as a background. And then here I did a more graphite on this side than this one. And I think I will do that on here. So I'll show you on the edges, the one on the edges, what I like to do. It's just what I like. You do whatever. If your intuition is telling you something else, do it. But this is what mine was telling me to do. So I'm just doing the left side of this whole section and the left side and the edges of that. And then if I come back and feel I need to have something in there, and I think I did do a little bit lighter. I did go a little bit lighter on there. So those are the background options. One other option that I like is taking this and just going around the whole perimeter, that's, you could do that as well. Little graphite all along the perimeter. And then I would put a little bit of graphite in the middle of those hearts, like in the center there, leaving some highlight. The lighting isn't great on here, but you can see what I'm doing. Now you could also go in, like for this particular heart, I could actually go in and put some graphite along the edges inside that heart. Just grabbing another tortillon. This one's too fat. Okay. And blending that in. Staying close to the edge. And when you're shading, pay attention to the sound of the tortillon, the graphite on the paper, how it feels in your hand. Notice how it blends. I love watching graphite blend and travel. I just love what the graphite does. Just reading the chat. So I'm going to end the recording, but before we do, just remember to always sign that's why I like to make sure you always put your chop, sign your artwork. The class is going to continue, but we're just going to finish shading, but I want to open it up I like to be a little bit more social now, and I don't really, not everyone is comfortable chatting with it being recorded. So I'm going to end the recording, and I hope you all enjoy the recording and get back to the class. So hold on.